Hey everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel here on YouTube, VectorVest YouTube channel, Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to be here. This is my favorite day of the week for Trending Thursday. And man, this is always going to be a good time. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Please let me know that. And wow, okay, what just happened there? Okay, so hopefully you can. We are on YouTube and we are also live streaming on Facebook as well. So those people who are on Facebook, I want to hear from you as well. I can see the chat. I want to hear what you got to say. I want you to be part of the family, part of VV Nation. What do we do here at VV Nation, especially for those people who are brand new to the channel, who are stopped by today just to say hello? We look at what's going on in the market, what news is making, what stories are out there in the news, and then we analyze the stocks in the VectorVest system to see if these are good plays, whether or not the news is really making these stocks move or not, and if you should be in them. Now, remember, I can't tell you what stocks to buy and sell, but by way of the VectorVest system, I can help you to make better decisions, and that's what we all want. I got RJ on Facebook saying loud and clear, way to go. And then I've got VP. I love what you typed in last week in Trending Thursday. Really appreciate that. Kobe, Carl, Mr. Consulting, Bill, Leonardo, Marshall, Terry is here. Man, I got a lot of people between, like I said, the Facebook group and the YouTube group. We try to get out to as many people as we possibly can. Real quick, I had a customer stop by today prior to Trending Thursday to stop by and say hello, and we spent some time and we talked. It's also always good when people do stop by. Now, we're not really set up for that, but if I have the opportunity to come and meet a customer face to face, I will gladly do so. So he was in the area, stopped by, and said hello. Kirby is on Facebook. Way to go, Kirby. Howdy, Glenn Tompkins Jr. There you go. So I can see you on both sides. You know, I am making a couple of changes here. We're doing a lot more analysis on stocks, less stories. Well, except for today, Joey. I got a lot of stories, but I got a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I want to get you guys into some good trades to at least look at or to consider so that you can grow your portfolio. So with that, we always start off with what's going on in the market. All right, we always start off with what's going on in the market. So market is moving up. It's taken a little bit of breather today, but for the most part, the market has been moving up. And when we get into the VectorVest software, we're going to take a look at the home page. So why is the market moving up? A lot of it right now, I think, is we're still in a strong earnings season. This is the last quarter of the year. Earnings, the earnings season. Companies, for the most part, have been hitting earnings. I haven't even checked FactSet yet to see how many companies have gone above and beyond what was expected for them, because it's still relatively early. What is this? October, November, December. So we're in the first month of earnings season. Of course, we got 3 months worth of earnings to come out. So it's still early, but if you look, the majority of the companies that are reporting are beating earnings, beating revenues for the most part. Of course, you're going to find those that are not. But earnings is what's keeping the market going higher right now for the most part. Why did we pull back today? Because the market can't go up forever. And, it's just a little short pullback. One day doesn't make a trend. So as we do that, I'm going to open up the VectorVest software. This is what we see. Here's our traffic light into the market. We got a lot of yellow. Today is our first solid day of yellow across, as opposed to, for the past few days, a lot of green in the color guard pricing column. A lot of yellow today. That's fine. Primary wave is still up, still a lot of green. This is just a time to be cautious. All right, nothing more, nothing less. Here's our advance to decline for the day. We did bounce up, came back down, leveling out, and we do have a mixed market. The only indice that's up so far today is the NASDAQ. All of the other major indices are down, but not by a lot. Today just feels like a little bit of a pullback day. Now, I have a question. How many of you, in type of 1 or 2, how many of you feel that the market still has legs to the upside? Or is the market getting ready to pull back and pull back big? All right, yeah, and I did say that for that reason. If you think the market's going to pull back and pull back big, or 1 if you feel that the market still has legs going possibly into the end of the year. I want to hear. I am trying to do a lot more interaction with you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So I see a lot going on YouTube. Let's see what's going on with my Facebook friends. I like that. Roger says 1.5. What does 1.5 mean? He's between? Then he would just put, yeah, I guess. By the way, riding side saddle with me is Joey. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. So I see 1.5 to 2. All right. So I do see that some people think that the market's ready to pull back. I mean, we've been in a full-blown bull market pretty much since 2016 with the exception of COVID. Which kicked off, but for the most part, we've still been rocking and rolling. And at some point in time, though, folks, the market's going to go down, and there's 2 things that's going to push the market down. As the Fed starts to taper, and number 2, as interest rates start to rise. All right, so Roger is neutral. Roger is, 1.5, 2 legs, 1 up and away. All right, up and away in my beautiful balloon. So that's what we're looking at, and those are the factors that right now, for the most part, are driving the market higher. Let's go to our viewers tab. Here's the stocks that we're going to look at today. We've got a lot of stocks to look at, so I'm going to be pretty chippy going on. Not chippy, what's the word I'm looking for? Spry. I want to get through all of the stocks. How about that? All right, so the 2 stocks that I look at for timing the market, if you're a VectorVest subscriber, I look at the VVC or the VectorVest composite. For those of you who do not have the VectorVest software or the VectorVest system, we look at the S&P 500, the spiders. I'm going to look at both of those on a graph. Be able to bring up the stock graph. This is a 3-month view of the market. Here's the move of the market. Here's the VVC moving higher. Again, the market's earning, and it started when? Pretty much at the beginning of earnings season. Let's put a date line up here. Where's the first day? 10/6, 10/4, 9/30. Here we go, 10/1. So sitting at 10/1 as we started getting into earnings seasons, earnings starts coming out. Look at the market start to take off after that. A lot of companies are meeting or exceeding their earnings expectations, and that's the engine that drives the stocks market higher. So that's the VectorVest composite, where we track over 9,000 stocks in one ticker symbol. And for those of you that have the S&P 500 or don't have the VectorVest software, you can utilize the S&P 500. Again, here's the first trading day of the new quarter for earnings. There's the 3/8 cross, market moving higher. Notice that the S&P is right now sitting at 3-month highs of 455 or about 454. We're right now at 452. And on the composite, we have a 3-month high of 69.33, and we're at 68.69. So that's the market. All right, that's the market. Shamdi says, my Facebook got interrupted, had to come to YouTube. Snoopy's. Oh, you're Snoopy? Hi, Snoopy. I'm glad to have you here. All right. And again, I want to see my Facebook folks chime in as well. All right. So that's the market. Anybody have any questions in regards to what's going on in the market? Well, let's do this. Let's take this a step further. So I showed you what the market looked like. Let's go see what news is out there in the market. All right. Fed officials say lingering inflation could change interest rate outlook. I'm telling you, all this time that the Fed was talking about that that inflation was transitory. Your buddy Glenn has been sitting here saying all that time, no, it wasn't transitory, that it's a real issue. The Fed Governor Randall Quarles says he's watching for signs that higher demand will keep prices elevated even after the bottlenecks abate. So I'm telling you that I think that they're going to raise interest rates a little sooner than they anticipated. The Fed, Barkin says U.S. labor supply problems may outlast pandemic. Now, interesting, as I put out a poll on our YouTube channel, asking, showing 5 different things that are affecting people going back to work. The 5 things were, people were fearful of COVID. People took early retirements. That a lot of people saved money during the stimulus, that they got a lot of money from the government and that they possibly saved a lot of that money, and that's what's keeping them from going back to work. And wages was my 5th selection. And overwhelmingly, 59% of the people who took the poll were saying that they thought it was the low wages. So what people are going to do, they're going to force companies to offer them higher money. Number one. Number two, a lot of what's going on as well, and I should have put this as one of my other suggestions, is that people are looking, when they go to find another job, that they're looking to see if they can work from home. And if the company's not offering them to work at home, they're not taking the jobs. Very interesting. Very interesting time that we're in right now from a job perspective. Here's another story. Fed Beige Book finds labor supply shortages are cramping the U.S. economy. All right, so we know that there's ships in all the ports all around the world that are backed up, can't get the stuff in, and so we have a shortage of goods. And if you follow me on social media, I've been posting a lot about that. And then Carl Icahn, who is an influencer, says the market over the long run will certainly hit the wall because of the money printing. There's a lot of money that was put out there. There's a lot of stimulus. And, you know, we got more stimulus on the way in the form of a infrastructure bill that Congress is fighting over now to determine what stays in, what comes out. There's a lot of money being spent. A lot of money being spent. How many of you agree with the idea that the money printing is hurting us? Type of 1, if you agree with that. Type of 2, if you feel that it was necessary to keep the market and the economy afloat after COVID-19. So 1, if you think that we are definitely spending too much money, or number 2, if you felt that it was needed to keep the market in play during COVID-19. Understand, during COVID-19, we were on the precipice of a deep recession/depression, all right, with the way that COVID affected the economy. All right, so I see a few 2s. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of 2s coming up. I see a lot of 1s coming up. All right, so it looks like you guys are pretty split on that. You have to take care of people. I'm with you on that, Ninja. I definitely, I am with you on that, especially when they got affected adversely, when they got fired because companies were going under. So, and I like a couple of people said both 1 and 2 are valid. 2, but you also have to look at printing for other currencies in conjunction. I got you, Paris. I know a lot of people going back to bartering, really. Now, that I have not heard of. Not that I haven't heard of bartering, but I haven't heard of bartering making a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. It's been here for years, right, Joey? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you mad at me? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think Joey's mad at me. I don't know. He just doesn't want to talk to me today. Tanker Cat says, hey, everyone. Tanker Cat in the house. Hope I got you. Are you talking about money printing now or last year? I'm talking about a combination of the both of them, consulting. I'm talking about the both of them. And then Joff puts 3. What does 3 mean? The Fed has messed up too much since 2008. If the economy is so strong over the last decade, why 0% rates? So much government. So now, Cameron, I'm thinking that interest rates are definitely going to rise because inflation is running way hot, way hot, way hot. All right, so let's get to my next story. The next story is on what I'm calling healthcare stocks. Healthcare stocks, because it keeps us safe on YouTube. CDC study shows Pfizer COVID vaccine is 93% effective against hospitalization in 12 to 18-year-olds. So now we're talking about the vaccines being doled out to the younger generation. And the story already comes out that Pfizer is already 93% effective against hospitalizations on 12 to 18-year-olds. What else is in here? The FDA to allow a mix and match approach for COVID booster shots. So, talking about mix and match, I got a joke for them today. Okay, yeah, I got a joke. This is the joke. So now, when you talk about mix and match, when you're talking about alcohol, bear before liquor, never sicker. Well, I got one for you. All right. Moderna before Pfizer, always wiser. Pfizer before Moderna, there might be some concerner. Type of 1 if that was funny. Type of 2 if that was crap. All right, I'm just curious to know. Type of 1 if you thought that was funny. Type of 2 if you thought that was just bad. But, you're talking about mix and match. I don't know how, to be back on the more serious. Wow, a lot of them thought that was crap. Really? Did you think that was crap?
Yeah, you stretched that.
I stretched that, Joey says. A lot of people are saying.
This is me right here.
Joey says 2. Joey typed in a 2 as well. Wow. No, I didn't make that up myself. Where did I heard that somewhere. I don't know where I heard it from. Somebody saying don't quit your day job. I heard it somewhere. And I couldn't wait to bring it to Trending Thursday. Guess what? I'm not bringing any more jokes to Trending Thursday. How about that? Wow. All right, so let's get back to the real deal. FDA to allow mix and match approach of COVID boosters. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that even when I got my first and second shot of Pfizer, I don't know if I wanted to get a first shot of Pfizer and a second shot of Moderna. I think that my own personal opinion, and I don't know the science or the medicine behind it, I think you should stay all with one strain all the way through. That's my personal opinion. You couldn't work Johnson & Johnson. I couldn't, because Johnson & Johnson is going to come up in a second. All right, so now let's talk about the other side of the COVID vaccine. All right, we know that it's out there to help us, to keep us from going in the hospital and all of those bad things. I don't think that everybody realizes, or nobody really wants to talk about the other side. Look at this. Pfizer, Moderna, both of them will rake in a combined $93 billion next year. So there is a business side to this. I know, and nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. It's all about what the vaccines can do to you, do for you, keep you out of the hospital, blah, 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 blah. But there's a business side to this. These companies are making money hand over fist. And remember, Pfizer never took any money from the government. Moderna did, part of Operation Warp Speed, and $93 billion. And then on the other side of that, Johnson & Johnson added a $502 million to the third quarter sales. And remember, Johnson was taken back by the U.S. because of the possible blood clots. They got taken out of the rotation for the vaccine. But now their boosters are coming up, and look at that, $502 million to third quarter sales. So I'm just putting that out there because I don't think we talk about it enough, that there is a business side to that there is a business side to that. I mean, what's up with my Facebook peeps? Nobody's saying anything more. All right? Nobody's saying anything. All right? I just want you guys to, I'm trying to keep you guys in the loop. I want you to keep you guys, it's not a Pfizer vaccine, Bitcoin vaccine. What are you talking about, Khan? Biotech. I'm not sure what you're saying. It's all right. And Khan says the evidence doesn't, is that what you're saying? The evidence doesn't suggest that. And remember, as far as mixing and maxing, it's just my personal opinion. So that's what I did put that out there. All right, let's get back into the software and look at those stocks. So we're looking at it from the perspective on the business side, right? If we go up, in my list sorted by VST, our master indicator for ranking stocks, ads, Y ads, Y ads, Y ads. What are you talking about, Jay? Jay is on Facebook. He's not even on. YouTube today. He's on Facebook. All right. So in our listing, we got a lot of stocks to look at. In our listing by VST, Moderna is at the top of the list. BioNTech is amongst the leaders as well. There's Johnson & Johnson, and then there's Pfizer. Is that my 4 stocks? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take a look at them. So we know that the boosters are being approved. They're going out to the younger folks as well. Moderna has always been my stock of choice in this space. There it is, bouncing off a level of support. The 3 and 8 are still bullish. I've got a level of resistance sitting at about 349.78. And again, the company is making money. Look at the earnings per share on Moderna. The company is making money. So let's go to the next stock. I wouldn't take Moderna right now. I'd like to see it break above that level of resistance. But BioNTech, on the other hand, look at that. 3 and 8 cross broke above a level of resistance, sitting at about 268.41. Nice open day today. Look at the earnings rising as well. Next one, Johnson & Johnson. They got hit. They got hurt when the vaccine got pulled by the FDA. But now with the boosters, they could be getting another run. 3.8 cross, a down day today, bouncing right off a level of support, sitting at 162.28. It didn't break below. Earnings is rising for it as well. If you're in Johnson & Johnson, I'd say leave it alone. And then this would say pull out of it for a little bit. But it's sitting at 102.28 is the level of support. And the last stock, Pfizer. For me, this is a conundrum. Pfizer was the only stock out of the vaccines that got the opportunity to get actual FDA approval. And yet it is just not doing what I anticipated. I still think that the sky is the limit on it. I think a lot of people are feeling that maybe the vaccines have run their courses already. I don't know. I don't know if I fully believe that or not. The company is making money. Guess what? Even if we don't take the vaccines, Pfizer has made a lot of money. Talk about $93 billion between Pfizer and Moderna. All right. So, again, the 3.8 just crossed on it. A little bit of a down day today. I've got a level of resistance sitting at about $44.01. It's currently trading at $42.66. All right. So, those are my health stocks, air quotes, health stocks. Anybody got any questions on this, on the health stocks? Facebook, talk to me, baby. I know I got Kirby, I got RJ, and I got Jay, and I got a couple of other people. Talk to me, folks. You guys need to talk to me. Facebook is getting a facelift on name. I saw that. Something about the Zuckerberg universe or something like that. I looked at it as a possible story today, but it didn't catch my fancy enough for me to really put it down as a story. So I didn't do any of that. MRNA is not just a vaccine. MRNA, Jay. It's not just a vaccine. It's a platform for future modalities. And, you know, I saw a couple of things. mRNA is being used right now to bring up another flu vaccine, and mRNA data is being used to go after cancer. So you're right on board with that. So that mRNA information or platform is out there, not just for COVID-19, but to go around to other diseases as well. Any other questions? Why would you buy Pfizer? Raphael, I would be more of a BioNTech fan or a Moderna fan over Pfizer. All right, Pfizer, I still think it's got good potential, but the stock's price just keeps going down. It makes it tough. The stock shows me that it should have a 55% chance to outperform the market over the next 1 to 3 years. It's got great upside. The stock has just been beaten up right now. And I don't have a definitive answer as to why. It's a great question, but I don't have a full-blown answer as to why at this particular point in time. If I'm going to look at any of these stocks, I like BioNTech and I like Moderna. Raphael, does that answer your question? All right, does that answer your question? Colin says, from my experience, I've seen medical drug companies with cures. I've seen their stock price drop because there's no recurrent revenue. I think Pfizer still makes money. Pfizer has a lot of other drugs in the pipeline. So I think Pfizer is still in good standing to make money outside of just COVID-19. Let's just say they didn't have the COVID-19 vaccine. They still got enough stuff in their pipeline to make money, okay? I'm drinking out of my Michigan cup today. All right, let's get back to the next story we got going on today. Next story is on clean energy. Now, a lot of times when we talk about clean energy, a lot of people automatically go to electric vehicles. But there's more to clean energy besides just electric vehicles. And today I got two stories on both solar and wind energy. All right, first one, U.S. makes next generation investment with solar innovation grants. So companies are going actively after solar. They've got a lot of money out there. Look at that. Awarded almost $40 million to 40 projects, which is about $1 million per project, and will increase the lifespan and the reliability of solar and related industrial and storage technologies necessary for achieving a carbon-free electric grid by 2035. The president already put out that he wants to have much less of a carbon imprint on our environment by the year 2035. That's what, 15 years or so from now, thereabouts. So that's an aggressive project. Electrical vehicles is a big play in that, but so is wind and solar. So I'm going to bring up a couple of solar stocks that I want you to take a look at. And Vestas, another company, but this is for the wind side. Vestas to install prototype of world's tallest and most powerful wind turbine next year. All right, so two other modes of clean energy besides just electric vehicles and everything associated with electric vehicles. We have wind and we have solar. So I've got some stocks that I want us to take a look at. Let's go see if I can go find them. No, where they at? Jinko Solar is one of them. ISUN, that's also for solar. SunPower for solar, and there's Vesta Wind. Notice where these stocks sit. Because this is still, part of that whole infrastructure bill, these stocks haven't all taken off just quite yet. They're towards the bottom part of my list. Here's First Solar as well. So we're going to look at Jinko Solar, ISUN for solar, SunPower for solar, Vestas Wind for wind, and also First Solar. I like the solar stocks because a lot of them have good upside potential. Let's right-click. Let's view the stock graph. Let's go take a look at my Sun stocks. Look at that. Jinko Solar. So if we're pushing more money, if the government is pushing more money into the solar space, here's a stock to take a look at. Jinko Solar went through a level of resistance today at 58.35, pulled back down, but look at the trending high or look at relative timing. Now, something that does catch my attention, though, earnings per share is falling. So the company may be moving higher, and a lot of it could be because of the buzz behind the movement between going after more solar energy. But watch the earnings per share. I bring it to your attention because the stock's price is running high and the news can keep it going higher. Now, on the other hand, ISUN, a little bit of a sideways move right now. I like the earnings a lot better. The 3 is currently above the 8. Even when it pulled back, the 3 stayed above the 8. A down day today. RT still above 1. There's something to keep your eyes on. Here's another one, SunPower. Also looks great. The solar space is starting to ramp up. RT is above 1, but look at the earnings per share. If I'm going to look at a company that's rising, and I want to bring this to your attention, if I want to look at a company that's rising, I want to make sure that the earnings is behind it as well, because that's important. So SunPower, I would wait on, even though it's running up, or from a trade perspective, I'll take it, looking at moving averages to get in and out at the right time. Now, VWSYF, which is Vesta Wind, I don't like gappy stocks, but there's momentum behind the stocks while the stock is gapping up. The news behind this company building the tallest, most powerful wind turbine is important, and people like it. Look at the earnings per share. So I'm looking at these industries. I'm looking at the news within the industry, and these stocks are definitely responding by way of the news. Watch the earnings per share. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can take advantage of the stock. Long term, though, be careful because earnings per share is falling. I got another stock in here, don't I? Yes. Last one, First Solar. This is a stock that a lot of people know about anyway. Bottom left, top right, even on the pullback, found a level of support at 91.64. Stock nicely moving up today. Nice open candle today. The 3 is above the 8. I'd like to see it get to that 3-month high of 109.96. And watch the earnings per share again. Some of these solar companies really have a problem with making money. Why? Because if not, people are not picking up on the solar energy stocks. They're not selling it, right? So just be careful with the earnings per share. All right. Anybody got any questions about the clean energy stocks, especially with the wind and solar? I got people on Facebook talking. Maria says, oh, that's a different language, so I can't read that, Maria. Any other questions? SunPower is on the resistance point of the 200-day moving average. I'll keep my eye on that. Again, I want to bring stocks within that space for you at least to keep your eye on. Uranium is a hot industry. We talked about uranium last week, Tanker. We talked about uranium last week. It is a hot industry, and it still is a hot industry. And actually, I got a video coming out tomorrow as our 6 p.m. Friday video on YouTube. I got a uranium stock for you to take a look at. All right, can you look at Sunrun? I'm not going to add any more companies in here, K-Man the Core, because I already got a lot of stocks in here. When we get to the part where we're going to look at individual stocks, I will keep that in mind for you. How about that, K-Manticore? We can do that. All right, let's get into my next story. Oops, wrong one. That's the one I want. Next story, let's talk about gold. All right. How many of you, this is a good question right now. How many of you are trading gold? 1 for yes, 2 for no. How many of you are trading gold? 1 for yes, 2 for no. And Amir, I think there is an ETF for solar. I'll look into it for you. I won't be able to find it today, but I'll look into it. Solar ETF. I'll take a look at that, but I believe there is one. How many of you are trading gold right now? 1 for yes, 2 for no. A lot of people are saying no. Interesting. A lot of people are saying no. Let me talk to you about what's going on with mining and gold. Mining in gold over the last 2 weeks is up 33%. It's on the move. It is on the move. Someone says the ETF for win is FAN. Someone says the ETF for win is it solar ETF? It's TAN. Is it TAN or FAN? Well, there you go. Thank you for that. Whoever put that out there. I got a lot of people who are saying no for gold, but I got some people in there saying yes for gold. All right, let's talk about it. Precious gold jumps on the softer dollar. Remember last week we were talking about the dollar and if it was good or bad. So I took a look at it. Inflation is bad for the dollar. As inflation happens, the dollar should fall. If inflation is really becoming a problem and the Fed is starting to acknowledge that the inflation is becoming a problem, the dollar is going to start to fall. As the dollar starts to fall, people are going to start moving into gold. So when I look at gold now up 33% over the last 2 weeks, I'm telling you guys, keep your eyes on gold. All right, keep your eyes on gold. So someone said TAN is the ETF for solar. FAN is the ETF for wind. Also, iClean is good for the whole clean energy. ICLN is the ETF for the whole clean energy space. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Thing is, this is live. I didn't want to go sneezing into my camera. You guys would go, ew. All right, so thank you for that. I love for the whole clean energy space. I've talked about it a lot. I really do like ICLN. That is a good ETF for the whole clean energy space, which looks at EVs, it looks like wind, it looks at solar, it looks at all of clean energy. I believe maybe it's just on the EV space. I'll have to check into that as well. Those are 3 ETFs to cover clean energy. So gold jumps on the softer dollar, and again, that's what moves gold. You sneezed in your shoes behind you. I got no shoes. Why you make me look like I ain't got no shoes behind me? What shoes? Oh, those shoes. I did. Wait. Good catch, Kirby. Good catch, Kirby. I sneezed into the shoes behind. I'm like, what are you talking about? Good catch, Kirby. All right, so that's what I'm thinking about. Gold is starting to move. Keep your eyes on it. I think that is the only story that I had on gold, but I've got a couple of gold stocks that I'm looking at. From a gold perspective, I'm looking at DRD, Dorado Gold. I'm looking at Harmony, HMY, where is it? There it is, Harmony Gold. I'm looking at Kirkland. That's a good stock right there when gold is moving. There's Kirkland. I'm looking for AU, which is Anglo Gold, and I'm looking for BTG. That's Patrick did a video on YouTube on BTG as well. So I've got 5 gold stocks that I'm looking at. Let's do this. Let's go take a look at their graphs, and I'm going to show you something else in regards to the industry as itself and its own. So if inflation is really becoming a problem, the dollar's getting weaker, you'll notice that gold stocks are going to start to move. Now, I'm telling you right now, I can't tell you to go buy them. I will tell you to keep your eyes on the gold stocks. Earnings pumped up. They fell a little bit. 3.8 now are in play. The stock is moving a tad bit sideways. It's okay. Keep your eyes on DRD. What else? I like Harmony Gold too. Look at the 3.8 cross back here and moving up. Also doing a little bit of sideways mambo. Watch the earnings per share on Harmony, whereas when I look at DRD, the earnings looks a little different. So if I'm going to look at a stock, and I want to choose which one I want to find a stock that's rising with rising earnings. Next one, Kirkland. I like Kirkland as a whole. Relative value on Kirkland is sitting at 1.32. It should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 32% over the next 1 to 3 years. Watch the earnings. Watch the earnings. The stock is moving a tad bit sideways. 3 and 8 are still in play. Watch the earnings on Kirkland. Same thing with Anglo Gold. I do like that the stock is moving sideways. The 3 and 8 are still in place. RT is above 1. Watch the earnings per share. And BTG, I like the pop in earnings. Even though it's fallen over the last 3 months, I like the pop in earnings, and I like the graph. I like this graph probably better than all of them, as this stock has very quickly come out of a downturn, moving up, just coming off a 3-month high yesterday. Open candle today, 3 and 8 are more solid. If I'm looking at any one of these stocks in this space, I like BTG. If I look at all of them, there's the earnings per share falling, earnings per share falling, earnings per share falling. DRD I like as well, but BTG, if I look at the graph, looks like it's got the most promising move. And look, it had a little bit of a wedge right here, broke out of the wedge, fell down. Remember, the dollar was getting stronger. Now with inflation really coming to fruition as a problem, I'm liking BTG as a stock to look at. Glenn, look at the gold miners RT ranking. When we come down to look at the stocks towards the end, we can take a look at those. I didn't think to put miners in. I really wanted to look at the gold stocks. RT is ready to cross one level of gold industry group. So talking about the industry, I'm going to click on any one of these. So I'll click on Kirkland. Let's go look at the industry graph. So 33% over the last 2 weeks. Let's see what the industry is doing as this loads up. I'm going to take a sip of Cafe Bustelo, the unofficial coffee of the VectorVest Jockey Club and of Trending Thursday. The industry is rising. So this isn't the whole mining gold, silver. So we saw that a lot of the stocks had earnings that were falling. The industry's got earnings that are falling. But I like the move graphically that the industry is starting to rise, and that it got caught as a mover and a shaker in my mind right now on as looking at the industry and moving averages. RT went above 1, now skirting with 1. I'd like to see RT get above 1 on the industry as the stock's price, as the market moves higher. All right, so I'm really feeling gold right now, especially with the story of inflation. Kirkland is under a merger with AEM. Owners of Kirkland will get that number of shares, says Robert. I don't know what that is. With that number, that's a lot of. It looks like either a little amount of shares or a lot of shares. Waiting for higher low on gold before investing, and I'm fine with that, Sue. I'm just bringing it to your attention. Any industry that moves 33% in 2 weeks is something that I want to bring to your attention. Does that make sense, Sue? Does that make sense? That's all I want to do. I want you guys to keep your eyes on it. If the industry is moving, let's just keep our eyes on it. All right. But what about higher energy prices? Won't that negatively affect gold miners? There's a difference between gold miners and Bitcoin miners. I'm not sure what you're asking. DWAC, I don't track it. I don't track it in the software. I was looking at that because that's been on social media. I don't track DWAC right now. All right, so can someone tell me what DWAC is? It's a stock. And again, it's on social media. I've seen it a lot, but we don't track it in the software. All right. So let's get to the next story. By the way, if you haven't already, hit the like button. If you like what you see so far, by all means, please hit the like button. If this is useful information that you can walk away from here today with, hit the like button. Let me know that you like what you see. All right. Please do that. Let's get to my next story. Ooh. Steel. Steel is my next story. Why? Because steel has moved up 26%. Steel has moved up 26% over the last 10 days. So let me go back a little bit. Clean energy, when we were looking at the wind and solar, clean energy is up 53% over the last 2 weeks. And we just talked about mining, gold, silver up 33%. And now steel stocks. Steel stocks up 26% over the last 2 weeks. So when I'm looking at some of these stocks today, the stories that I came up with were based on what the VectorVest system was telling me what's moving as far as industries. So that's what we're doing. What is the ranking in the mining sector? When I open back up the software, Raphael, I'll tell you. When I open up the software again, I'll tell you. Remind me. All right, so steel. This came out today. Will Nucor Corporation stay at the top of the basic materials sector? That's the only story that I have on steel. Nope, I got another story. Ternium, TX, gains but lags the market, what you should know. So I've got 2 steel stocks for you to look at. All right, those are just the headlines. Let's go to the stocks. I've got 2. I'm going to be looking at Nucor. Notice where Nucor sits in the list of 26 stocks. It's number 4. Steel is still a good way to go. And what is the next one? The next one was TX. There it is. It's in the top third of all of the stocks in here. So here are my 2 steel stocks. Steel is going to be a big part of infrastructure. People are still building commercially. And from a commercial standpoint, you need steel. Let's go take a look at the stocks. View the stocks. Now, Nucor, I liked it yesterday. A little bit of a pullback today. I still like it only because it didn't break down below my level of support. I got a little bit of indecision or a doji day. I got a solid level of support sitting at 99.09. Solid level, and we're still trading above that. All right, we're still trading above that. But look at the earnings per share on the stock. The stock was in an uptrend coming off a level of support of 93.28, pulling back today. The 3 and 8 are still in place. I'd still keep my eye on that. And as I look at TX, same thing. Both of these stocks in the steel industry got hit today. I don't know what happened as far as a news story, but both of them got hit. But I liked them both as they were coming up off of their levels of support and watching the earnings per share. Now, let's do this. I'm going to highlight just one of them. And let's go look at the industry graph, and let me show you. All right, let me go show you. Thank you, John. John says the current ranking on gold mining is 132, and that's out of 221. But when I can tell you, John, that it's risen 26% over the last 2 weeks, that does catch my attention. The gold, it's risen 33% over the last 2 weeks. That definitely catches my attention. Yesterday, Steel Basic, 3-8 cross, still running, got up to a level of resistance. This is the industry now. Got up to a level of resistance of 31.83 and pulled back. The 3 and 8 end of day on the industry, Steel Basic, is still in place and earnings per share is still rising. So now I do not have to go look at gold because John did it for me. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it. New reported earnings today. Did they? See, look at that. I didn't even realize that. I just saw all of the news on it. Let's go see earnings. Yep. Now, it's a red candle because it's lower than yesterday's candle, but it's an open candle, just a little bit, and it's a little bit of indecision. I'm going to keep my eye on that. I still think that the steel industry, from a move perspective, is getting ready to rock and roll. We'll keep our eyes on that. Thank you for that, MR Consulting. That was Ramel. Thank you for that, Ramel. All right, so that's my steel story. I only got one other thing. And you see what time it is? I told you I was going to get it. I'm good. That's not whatever. Why are you being a hater? Why? Oh, man, you lucky. For some reason, there we go. All right. Joey's being a hater today. Stop being a hater. All right. Let's go look at my last story. Now, actually, my last story happens to be my stocks of interest. All right. So these are my stocks of interest. Big story. How many of you saw this story that PayPal is bidding for Pinterest? Type of 1 for yes, 2 for no. How many of you saw this story? And this caught my interest. PayPal is going after Pinterest. Now, when I look at Pinterest, I'm wondering, does Pinterest sell a lot of stuff? All right, I don't know. Does Pinterest sell a lot of stuff? That PayPal could take the payment for the stuff that... Now, I have a Pinterest account, but I don't use it. I do, because I'm a big dude. I use it for recipes. Yeah. It got some good recipes on it, right, Joey? Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, Joey knows too. It's got some good recipes. So that's the only reason why I use my Pinterest account. But this is kind of interesting, and they're willing to pay $45 billion. So if I scroll down, has offered to buy Pinterest for $45 billion. It would be the biggest acquisition of a social media company surpassing Microsoft's $2 billion purchase of LinkedIn. So I'm keeping my eyes on both of these stocks, PayPal and Pinterest, but PayPal is going to pay a lot of money for Pinterest, so they're in a bid for it. We'll see what happens. What else has caught my attention? Oh, yeah. Woo-wee. All right. How many of you are trading Bitcoin yet? Type of 1 if you're trading Bitcoin yet. Bitcoin has been on everybody's mind, whether it's a positive or a negative. Bitcoin has been on a lot of people's minds. It's made a lot of buzz. Bitcoin can be moved by a simple statement of Bitcoin sucks. Boom, it gets hit. Bitcoin is great. Boom, it goes up. It's a very volatile, but it's becoming a mainstay. Bitcoin is really at the table with the big boys. It is, you remember, again, you go back a few years ago, you say the word Bitcoin, you could get laughed out of a room. That's not the case anymore. And the first Bitcoin futures exchange started trading. BITO. So I'm seeing that people are starting to trade Bitcoin. What about on Facebook? Anybody on Facebook? Kirby, you saying that you're trading Bitcoin? Curious to know. A lot of people, I got more ones than I have twos on Bitcoin. Bitcoin really is something that you need to take a look at. And I like the idea that it's an ETF. So if you don't want to, the miners can get, you got Mara, you got Hut, you got Riot, you got a lot of miners. You have to pinpoint which one you like. In my case, I like either Hut or Mara. Then you got to go look at the blockchains. All right, which blockchain is moving? Or you got to go look at the crypto. What crypto is moving? I look at, no, not yet. I still don't think that, I would still go for gold as a hedge against inflation, not Bitcoin yet. I don't think Bitcoin has solidified itself as a go-to against market move. I still think that gold is the hedge. I do not think that at this time, even though it's becoming more noted in the market, I still don't think that it's solid enough to be a hedge. So who asked me that? That was Ramel. Ramel, does that make sense? I'm not ready to call Bitcoin the hedge against inflation. I would still go with gold. Coin is another one that's out there. I like BITO, and I'm not a big fan of IPOs. I'm not. But if you look at my story on YouTube tomorrow, it's going to talk about how much BITO has moved, and it's the fastest ETF that's gotten to a certain level ever. You need to watch tomorrow's video where I do a deeper dive on BITO. All right, so I like this. It caught my attention. We're going to take a look at it. What else? Now, this is interesting. Goldman Sachs adds Walmart to conviction buy list and drops Target. Now, granted, I am not an economist. I am not a bona fide analyst. But I'm going to ask you a question after we do the analysis on what you think about this story. All right? Goldman adds Walmart to the conviction buy list but drops Target. And we're going to analyze those two, and I want you to give me an answer in regards to what you think about this story. All right? And I'm not trying to beat up on Goldman Sachs. I am just going to use the analysis. I want the analysis more so than what I think is going to happen. All right, next one. United Airlines earned $473 million in the third quarter as travel demand stayed strong. I ain't sure this travel demand is all that strong. I'm looking at a lot of people who've been caught. Now, this is on a different airline. It's not on United. I believe it was Southwest. They couldn't keep up with the demand. All right. Is the travel demand where you think it should be right now? Type of 1 if you think travel is really picked up. Type of 2 if you don't think travel is really picked up yet. I'm looking at the airlines. I'm looking at Walt Disney. I'm looking at cruise lines. I don't think that they're getting the money that they expected to get after the supposed really pull back on COVID. I think the Delta variant really put the kibosh on traveling. I don't think travel is where they expected it to be. I'm more in the category of 2. I'm thinking that it's not where, but United Airlines made money. United Airlines reported a profit for 3 months ending in September, underscoring the resilience of air travel demand during the spread of the Delta variants. I'm not sure I fully agree with that. I don't think that there was a resilience in demand. All right, and I'm seeing the twos come out. And this is why we look at the news, and then we can make our own decisions. Now, I don't have the facts behind it. I don't have the data behind it. But I don't think that travel is picked up to the point that people can say, woo, we're back in the black again. But United is. Interesting, huh? That's why it caught my attention. Netflix came out with earnings. They blew earnings out, solid subscriber growth. Remember the last earnings? They hit, but they missed on revenues because of subscriber. I don't know what happened between last quarter and this quarter that the subscribership grew. But whatever it is, they beat earnings, caught my attention, and the last stock is Tesla. Now, this is a cool story. Tesla Model 3 outsells 3 premium German automakers in Germany. In Germany. Tesla is a bad boy, man. Woo-wee, right? Tesla is a bad boy. So they just opened up. They got a Shanghai factory that's rocking and rolling, putting cars out. They just opened up in the UK market, and they're outselling 3 of the premium German automakers right now. All right. So let's go back into the software, and let's go look at my stories of interest. I got a lot of them in here. All right, I got PayPal. Let's go down the list. I got there's Pinterest, there's PayPal. I've got Bitto. I got Walmart. I got Target. Where's Target? There's Target. I've got United Airlines, UAL. That should be at the bottom, and it is. I've got Netflix. That should be at the top, towards the top. Where's Netflix? There it is, Netflix. And I got Tesla. Tesla's the top of the list. So remember I told you I wanted to look at the story about Walmart and Target. We're going to come back to that in a second. Let's view these stocks real quick. All right, so Pinterest on the news shot up yesterday. A little bit of a pullback today. But that's Pinterest, earnings per share on Pinterest, and they're the ones going to get bought by PayPal. PayPal is getting the tail end of this. I don't know if it's because they're the one buying it or not, but Pinterest looked good. PayPal doesn't as much. All right, but that's an interesting story if they do go through with that. Bitto, again, IPO. I don't tend to like IPOs, but again, check out my story tomorrow that will be released at 6 p.m., which goes into a deeper dive on Bitto. Nice up day yesterday, pullback today, but I think that this stock as an ETF has a real good upside potential. Walmart, look at Walmart. So Walmart was added to the hold list or to the long-term list for Goldman Sachs. I like Walmart. I like it. I like the earnings per share, blah, blah, blah. RT just went above 1. But look at Target. You say, and then I'm going to analyze them in a second. But both of them are not doing so bad. I like that. Target is moving sideways right now. United Airlines. I don't know where this story was made up from. United Airlines is falling now. And look at the earnings. Yes, the earnings are still negative. Earnings per share are negative, but they're less negative than they were 3 months ago. I'm not feeling that story. I don't know if they're trying to push the stock higher or whatever. Well, it was earnings. It was an earnings play. And even on earnings, look at the stocks not really responding tremendously. I don't think that, even though they beat earnings, I don't think it's a good play just quite yet. Netflix, strong subscriber growth, stock bottom left, top right, expensive stock, moving up higher after earnings on good volume. Earnings per share looks good. Tesla, same kind of thing. Both of these stocks look like an airplane taking off. Both of them. If I look at Tesla and I look at Netflix, these are good, solid stocks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about them. They're good, solid stocks. And what else? Oh, that was the last one. So let's do this real quick. Let's go look at Target, and I want to go look at Walmart. And look at where Walmart sits compared to where Target sits. And Goldman says that Walmart is going to be on their long-term buy list, and they dropped Target. Earnings per share on Target's $12.09, growth rate of 25%. Earnings per share on Walmart, $6.24. earnings growth rate of 6%. All right. Based on that news right there, how many of you agree with Goldman's move to drop Target and pick up Walmart? Type 1 if you agree. Type 2 if the analysis that you see here makes you think a little differently. Type 1 if you agree with the Goldman view, or by just analyzing the stocks on the fundamentals, that it makes you think twice about it. Now, again, I'm not going after Goldman. They do their own business. I'm not going after Goldman. This is why it caught my attention. Somebody says, Bob says he agrees with Goldman. All right, I got you. Patrick says he agrees with Goldman. Everybody else, for the most part, is saying that they don't agree. All right, so let's do a little bit more analysis. Target, undervalued. Walmart, overvalued. Target's got an upside potential of outperforming a AAA corporate bond by 52%. Walmart shouldn't outperform that bond. Target, safe stock. Walmart, not. And a lot of people, more and more people are coming up that they agree with Goldman. And again, I'm not here to judge. I'm just looking at the analysis. All right, so I wanted to know. I wanted to know what you felt about that. I saw the story and I said, let me bring it to Trending Thursday and see if anybody saw what I saw. The analysis to me doesn't match up. All right, it doesn't match up. K. Montecore says VectorVest has made more money than Morgan. I hear you. No Target in Canada, only Walmart. Says Michael. All right, I just don't agree with the Goldman story. I just don't. What is VectorVest mantra? To have you in safe, undervalued stocks rising in price in a rising market. This is a safe, undervalued stock rising in price in a rising market. Walmart doesn't meet that criteria for me. All right, so I'm just putting it out that way. Obviously, Goldman doesn't use VectorVest. Absolutely. Chamdy is saying we should ask Michael Burry. We should. Maybe I should ask Joey. Joey, what do you think?
I agree.
Okay, there you go. Man, a few words. He agrees with who? Me or Goldman?
You.
You better agree with me. I would fight you. Do you want to fight me? Mm-hmm. I'd fight you. All right. So, folks, guess what? I had 26 stocks today, and we got through all 26 stocks. How cool is that? All right. Again, if you haven't hit the like button already, please do so, especially if some of the news and some of the analysis that we did for you today makes sense. And again, for me, the Target Walmart makes sense to me that the analysis doesn't agree. But that's just me. We got through all of the stocks. That's awesome. I knew that I had a lot of stories that I wanted to bring to your attention. Hopefully it made sense to you. Hopefully you like to use it, and we'll go for that. Maybe as inflation takes off, Walmart will be stronger than Target. I don't know, Curious. I don't know. I can't, I don't try to guess at what a stock is going to do. I just look at the analysis and go with it. All right, guys, you know what time it is, right? Let's go to my weekly watch list. You know what time it is? It's time for me to look at your stocks. I'm going to look at 20 of your stocks. Start typing them in. All right, start typing them in, and let's go take a look at your stocks. All right, Facebook, give me some stocks. All right, CVLG, I did a video on that on YouTube as well. VEV is a stock that I've been keeping my eyes on. That's Vicinity Motors, I believe. You want it run solar? There you go. A do run. AMD, LCRX, I think it's LRCX, DocuSign, DOCU, gosh, there's a whole bunch of stocks going up. DT, apps, PANW, Bank of America, Dual, DOUL. I don't track that. CR CrowdStrike, marijuana. I almost did a marijuana story. I think marijuana might be getting ready to move. I wasn't fully ready for it. MVMDF. MVMDF. Somebody subscribed to the channel. That was cool. Who did it? DPC Dad. Thank you for that. And we don't track MVMDF. All right, we don't track MVMDF. CVX, Chevron, RVP. You done with RVP? Yeah, you know me. You done with RVP, Joey?
Yeah, you know me.
You know me. GMRE. And I'm going to look at AMC, and GME. I want to look at the two big meme stocks as well. All right, let's see how many stocks I got. I'm looking up to 20. I got 3 more stocks I can put in. MXL, Microsoft, Cron. There we go. There's my 20 stocks. Now, the reason why I started putting them into a watch list, I didn't get no... Oh, there we go. I got 2 from Facebook. Sorry about that. CVE, and CleanSpark, CLSK. I did get 2. I want to put those in since I got my Facebook people here. So there you go. All right. The reason why I started putting these stocks into... Did it say 22? Oh, yeah. All right. The reason why I started putting them into a watch list is because I wanted you guys to see where your stock that you asked me about sits in the list sorted by our master indicator VST. So the stock VEV, Vicinity Motors, is something that I'm keeping my eyes on, but it's at the bottom of my list, whereas APPS, CVE, and AMD and Bank of America are at the top of the list. All right. Let's go take a look at these. We'll do this real quick. APPS looks good. APPS looks good. Moving up, new high over the last 3 months. RT looks good. Earnings per share looks good. Like it. CVE looks good as well. Just consolidating right now. Volume is starting to rise a little bit over the last 3 days, even though it's consolidating. That's a positive sign. Petroleum is a hot industry. I like the stock. It's relatively inexpensive. Earnings per share looks good, but I do like the rising earnings. Next one. Wow, AMD bounced off support, 3.8 cross, moving up higher, approaching the new 3-month high of 122.49. It's currently trading at 118. Earnings looks good. I like the stock. That was a solid level of support, sitting at the value of 99.66. Nice bounce, now trading at 118. I'd like to see it take out that level of the 3-month high. Next one, Bank of America. Banks, for the most part, have been doing good. Today is just a pullback day on the banks. If you're in a bank stock, I wouldn't get out of it. Earnings per share looks good. RT is good. New 3-month high, even though it's a down day. I like the bank stocks as well. I've done videos. We did a Trending Thursday either last week or the week before on banking stocks. MXL, electrical components. Watch the selling pressure today on today's candle. Look at the big wick at the top of the candle. Just be careful with that. I do like the bounce off support. 3.8 cross. Earnings looks good. Volume looks good. RT is above 1. Keep your eye on that selling pressure on today's candle. All right, so there we go. Let's go to the next one. CleanSpark. This is ideally being used in the crypto space as a software to help these crypto miners manage their energy usage when mining for crypto. This is in a good spot. I got a little bit of a shooting star pattern, a little bit of indecision today, but the 3 and the 8 looks solid. Nice 45-degree angle. I like the stock. The buzz behind what they're trying to do with the miners is a good thing. A little selling pressure yesterday with a little bit of follow-through. Just be careful, but the 3 and the 8 are solid. LRCX, I'm not feeling it right now. The 3 and the 8 just went negative, even though it bounced off a level of support today at 543.56. I don't like that the 3 and the 8 crossed. The stock is in a downtrend. Not only is it selling off, it's selling off on big volume. This is conviction behind the sell-off. Be careful with LRCX if you own it. Next one, CVLG. I don't know what happened to bring that stock's price down the way that it did. Let's go. 21%. 3 days ago, is still trading. Let's go see a press release. Covenant Logistics announces third quarter financial and operating. Did they miss earnings? Did they miss earnings? Announced today, third quarter will be held at, Thursday, today. They already did it. We are pleased to report earnings per share, 102, the highest earnings. I don't know if that was in line with expectations or not. Freight mark, I don't know. But whatever it is, the earnings... If the earnings was good, even though it says the highest earnings for any quarter in the company's history, I I don't know what that's all about. Thank you for that, Nart, for subscribing to the channel. Dude, I can't tell you. But that's a 21% drop. Can anybody back me up on what else happened? Looks like they said they got good earnings. Did they miss? Because that's a 21% drop on a stock that was rocking and rolling. I'm wondering if, even though they beat earnings, I wonder if revenue wasn't good. They might have beat earnings, but I wonder if revenues weren't any good. DWAC, I'm going to see what we can do to get it added. DWAC add. I wrote it down. I'll see if we can get it added. Nobody's chiming in on that. It looks like it was an earnings beat, but maybe they didn't beat revenue. But that's a big drop in the stock in one day. They missed revenue. Thank you, Kobe. That's what I felt. That's what I felt because it looked like they beat earnings. They say it was the highest they've ever had, but the revenues weren't there. They're stuck in the ports and Callies. I know. Wow. All right. I did like the stock, but that sucks. That freaking sucks. All right, let's go to the next one. CVX, petroleum, hot industry, down day today. I wouldn't worry about it. The stock's price is definitely moving up. Earnings is moving up. That's just a down day today. All right. Let's go look at RVP. I do like the 3 and 8 just crossed today. Broke above a level of resistance, sitting at the value of about 10.12, and then came back down. That's a good level of resistance. I need the stock to break out above that before I take this seriously as a trade. But I do like the bouncing off support. 3.8 just crossed yesterday, between yesterday and today. I just really needed to get out of its own way. Next stock is, wow, Pan W. Look at that. You know what that looks like? That's another airplane move. All right, now, over the last 3 days, though, it's pulled back. Last 3 days, it's pulled back. The 3 and 8 on end of day is solid. Earnings looks good. Volume has been consistent. 2 days, it was a new 3-month high yesterday. A little bit of a hammer formation possibly. I would keep my eye on that, but I like the move bottom left, top right. Let's go to the next one, Microsoft. Always will like Microsoft. Hit a new 3-month high today. Watch volume. I'm not getting a lot of conviction behind the move, but earnings should be coming out on Microsoft relatively soon. But new 3-month high, I do like it. Wow, Dynatrace, like that. Bottom left, top right. Did you miss the train on this one? No. Look at that earnings per share. Look at that earnings per share. I like that. It's just leveling out right now. Would like to see it take out the high of 78.98 by 12 cents. If it does, that's a good buy point. Bottom left, top right, I like that stock. It's not too late, but let the stock come to you. Next stock, CrowdStrike. A little bit more choppy in the stock. Right now, approaching a 3-month high of 289.24. I'd like to see volume really rise with price. That's not quite happening. I do like the earnings. I do like RT. Watch the volume because volume is conviction. Stock's price is moving, but the volume is falling off. Be careful with CrowdStrike. Wow, GMRE, I like. New 3-month high today. 3 and 8 are solid. This is a little bit more volatile of a stock, but when it moves, you move.
Just like that.
When I move, you move. It is moving. New 3-month high. RT is up there. Love the stair-step effect on earnings. Just a little bit more choppier than some of the stocks that we've seen. DocuSign. I think that I like this stock from the purpose of what they do. You can go look at, talk to a doctor over a mobile device. Nice move up today above that level of resistance, sitting at 271.18. Nice open candle. Earnings per share looks good. Could this be a good early entry on a good day like today? Yes, I know that this wasn't an earnings play. Earnings was back here. I like this move. I do like this move coming off support, breaking through resistance, 3 and 8 cross. There's a lot of good things going on with DocuSign right now. All right, so I do like that. Keep your eyes on that. Run. Wow. A lot more choppyosity. That's a Glenism. A lot more choppyosity. I like the move. If clean energy, solar, wind, EVs are rocking, it's going to pull this in. It's going to pull this stock up higher. I'd like the bounce off support. I like the 3-8 cross, even on the pullback. The 3 and 8 held. Nice open candle today. Next headwind level is at 54.52. Let's see if we can break through that. I've got a 3-month high sitting at 59.94. If the industry looks good, I don't like the earnings though. I don't like the earnings per share, but a lot of stocks in that industry, the earnings don't look so good. I can't argue the tape though. The stock's price is moving higher. MJ, I might be getting ready to look at marijuana stocks. Why? The stocks look like it's based out a little bit. The 3 and 8 just crossed a couple of days ago. Keep your eye on marijuana stocks. Keep your eye on marijuana stocks. Let the industry come to you, but keep your eyes on marijuana stocks. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got. Lieutenant Dan, that's all I got to say about that. Mama said stocks are like a box of chocolate. You don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that was funny. Type a 1 if that was funny. If it ain't funny, don't type nothing. If that Forrest Gump impersonation was funny, type 1. All right. So I got to say about that. All right. That really is all I got to say about that. Glenn, look at RT ranking on marijuana stocks. John, you're going to... RT ranking on marijuana stocks. You got to understand. Well, you ain't got to understand. Marijuana stocks, what is that? Healthcare marijuana? I'm going to do that real quick. Healthcare marijuana. Oh, man, it might have been at the top of the list. That's all right. Let's go healthcare marijuana, healthcare marijuana, 222. It's the last industry. It's the last industry in the software. Ooh, interesting, right? If it's the last industry in the software and it's starting to make a move, could your buddy Glenn be putting you on to something right quick? It's the slowest moving industry, but it could be showing signs of starting to move. I know. John, did you not just hear what I said? Look at that. You could be seeing something. You could be seeing something right there. Folks, you heard it here first. If it bombs out, I wasn't here. If it takes off, your buddy Glenn hooked you up. Keep that in mind, right, Joey? Mm-hmm. If it takes off like nobody's business, your buddy Glenn hooked you up. If it bombs and fails, Joey told you about this. All right, so I'm just telling you that. All right, let's go see what else I got going on. We just looked at GMRE. Watch that. The 3 and 8 are about to fail. Just keep your eyes on that. Earnings is getting better than it was 3 months ago. Just keep, and it is a meme, of course. It's a meme stock. This is not GMRE. This is GME. Everybody's talking about the squeeze. The SEC just came out with a report, and Patrick did a beautiful video on it. If you hadn't watched it on YouTube, please go watch it. SEC put out a report on the meme stocks. Go check it out. All right. And I own GME and I own AMC, and both of them are pulling back today. All right. Earnings per share on AMC, though, is getting better than it was 3 months ago. All right. So there we go. And I got one more stock. I got Cron. There you go, John. If the industry is about to rise, how about the stocks are about to rise? I'm telling you, keep your eyes on marijuana stocks. Keep your eyes on marijuana stocks. I like that it's the last industry, but it's starting to possibly make a move. And your buddy Glenn just hooked you up. Hit a like if you haven't already. That could be a major player for many of you out there right now that you didn't even know about. Who else is telling you that? Who else is telling you that marijuana is on the rise or starting to move? Think about that. All right? And that's why you come to Trending Thursday, folks. That's just why you come to Trending Thursday. Last stock, VEV, we just started tracking it. I think I've done some research on it. I think it's a good company, just not right yet. I think that it's a good company, just not ready yet. Not ready. It's not ready for prime time. Not yet. I'm going to keep my eyes on it, though, because it is in the EV space, and I think it's got great potential. I'm just not feeling it just quite yet. All right? With that, I think I'm done. I got to find the thing. Which one is it? No, it's this one? Not that one. Is it that one? No, it's not.
Use the screen over there.
Because I don't have it over here.
That one.
Oh.
The giant one. It has all the pictures on it.
All right. Oh, why are you such a hater today? You really are such a hater today. Man. All right, folks. If Joey's never back here again tomorrow, the next time, it's because we fought. All right, folks, thank you for being here today. All right. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you found it useful, hit the subscribe button for me, folks. All right. If you haven't already liked the channel, if you haven't already liked the video today, the live stream today, hit the like button. My job is to bring to your attention stuff for you guys to take a look at. We look at the news, we look at the analysis, we talk about it. All right, we talk about it. And I try to be as real as I can on all of the stocks that are out there without being biased in any direction. So that's why I try to keep you involved. All right. So if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. All right. With that, I think I'm done. Yes, Joey?
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy with the time?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right. Folks, until the next time, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Salam, shalom, namaste, yasul. Until the next time, folks, see ya.